Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Just have to send this to. Okay, I need to change this. Stream.
Okay. Ooh, I'm
Good
getting
video.
myself in the recording.
Getting ready to push the Twitch. All right, I think we're in good shape.
Okay, you can hear me all good.
Yes, sir.
And I'm recording your audio and not mine. So that's good.
Okay, I think we can put this stuff away.
Sweet. So I'll be able to I'm able to record me with my mic and you off of the Zoom, and we'll be I'll be good to edit as soon as we're done.
Okay. The Twitch stream still has some old thing on it, so it says that I'm last live just now, but Hey, I think we're good. I think we're ready to rock. I'm gonna resend the link just on Facebook.
What do you use to broadcast?
Well, right now I'm just using, I'm going straight out of Zoom right now.
What makes the Zoom go to Facebook and Twitch?
I'm sorry. Okay, I can focus now. Now I can focus. In Zoom, there is a place to say I'm gonna stream to, and I have to put in the information.
Okay, cool.
I'm trying to mess with OBS some more to switch up with graphics.
Yeah, I've been doing OBS for the Saturday serials over at Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not great at it.
Same here, but I think I'm getting better. And I wonder, I can't even remember. Maybe I did it last time with us. Did I have a graphic and then it faded into us, or did I not have that graphic?
I don't remember.
I don't think so. I think we just pushed it here. But I'm trying. Okay, so I'm going to try to look over here now. I'm trying on Friday, a week from today. The Idiot's Lantern, the Doctor Who convention isn't on this year.
Right.
But we're going to do a rejected script reading at the same time we would have been on stage if the convention was happening. So we're doing like 6 scripts, and I'm trying to make it as much of a show as possible. So that includes, like, I did an audio test. I'm going through OBS. I'm going to have a countdown and do the music, and then have a little something after. But my laptop can't handle all of these video sources at the same time. It really heats up. So that's Zoom, for whatever reason, is perfect. There's nothing going on my computer right now.
Cool. Yeah, I want to do live stream and stuff, but I keep looking into different services, and it just sucks. It's like the cheapest one's like $25 a month, and I'm like, well, I want to test stuff out, and I want to, make sure this is something that I can do,
right?
Before it eats up half of my Patreon money. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I won't. So we'll see. I want to do live stuff, but it's yeah, I need to find a good way to do it.
I think, if your computer can handle it, OBS is pretty good.
I know I can probably do those live, but those are Patreon exclusive. So I need to take that format that I'm doing with the Saturday serials and put it into like a VHS dude show. So I think the stuff that I have on VHS is not going to get dinged for copyright stuff. So we'll see. I know YouTube has issues with some copyright stuff. I know you're looking into that. Me and when I was on, I'm on Jay's show, the Screen Geek show, and we were showing video clips of Clone Wars, just small snippets, and they shut down our live feed.
Was it the full screen, or was it like where was this? Was it the footage in
I'm
the
pretty
corner?
sure it was off to the side. It
Wow.
might have been. It might have been off to the side. I don't remember, but it was like, oh my gosh, like
And that was
these are
on Twitch?
promotional. Yeah, this was on. No, that was the YouTube feed shut down. The Facebook feed was still going.
You know, it's crazy because I mean, we've seen dozens of videos that have clips of Star Wars and
And
whatnot.
the Star Wars clips were promotional clips to
Mhm.
promote the show. So it's like we're helping you promote the show.
Yeah.
It's strange. I think technically I'm not supposed to be live streaming or streaming the Flash Gordon serials. They took those serials and they made them all. They put them together to make like a movie out of them, and those are
Oh,
public. Those are public domain. But the actual individual ones, I don't believe are. But
well,
um,
isn't public domain just a matter of time?
yeah,
So I mean, if the full movie was, then I mean, it's the same footage. I would imagine that. I think the
right. I don't
footage
know.
even happened. The little clips happened before the full feature, so I think you should be good.
Yeah, we'll see. But it's Patreon and it's like tucked behind a paywall, and there's only the 40 viewers, so it's not.
40 is
Yeah,
pretty
it's
good for
not.
Patreon.
Yeah, it's not. You can only see those videos if you're on Patreon. So it's not like it's out on Vimeo or out on YouTube. So I think I'm fine. So I was gonna do Green Lantern the animated series, which is way not copyright, but I'm like, I think I'm small enough operation in a small enough corner of the internet that I don't think anyone would notice from
But
Warner
you're not
Brothers.
talking about serializing that. You're just talking about showing it and talking about it, right?
Yeah, what I do is I have the video playing in the middle, and then I'm in the corner talking about it as it's going.
Sure. And it was just the video that got you cut? Like there wasn't audio?
No, nothing as wait on the Patreon. No, nothing's been done.
I'm sorry, going back to the Clone Wars, was there audio or was it just video?
I want to say he cut out the audio because he didn't want to get dinged.
Man, even with just the video, huh? That's crazy.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's like anyone's gonna use your podcast to take in that show. You know what I mean? Like if I were to show an episode of Clone Wars and my face was over it the whole time and talking, who's who's watching that as the episode? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't get it. But
Well, so I was thinking we'd talk a little bit about the Royal Rumble.
okay.
Uh, I think we would probably want to talk about WandaVision a little bit here and there. I have not seen episode 5, the one that aired at midnight today.
I watched it at lunch right before we started recording.
Did you really? Okay.
Yeah. Because the problem, we can get into it, but I'll tell you, like the Twitter trends start becoming more and more spoiler as the day
Oh
goes
yeah,
on.
yeah. I know. I WandaVision trending with this word and this word. It's like okay, well,
Yeah.
thanks.
And then it was like one of those things where it's like WandaVision was trending. Okay, cool. I'm good. Then it said episode 5 trending. I'm like, okay, it's starting to get close. And I told Stevie, I'm like, hey, listen, the trending words are starting to get more boiled down. And so I'm like, we should just watch it at lunch. It's only a half-hour show. So we watched it. And then as soon as we were done watching it, we go on Twitter and the trending things are spoiler this, spoiler this, spoiler this, spoiler this. And I'm like, you got to watch those trending topics because they start getting more and more specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to talk. Do I have to talk about WandaVision? Do we want to talk about it?
Just a little, just a
Okay,
little. We
all
can
right,
we can move on shortly thereafter.
all right.
I felt that there was more. I did want to talk about the Idiot Lantern show, which I already did. Um, what else? What have you got? It's been about a month.
Nothing. No, nothing. Yeah.
All right, I'm sure
I,
we'll
I
figure it out.
I think every movie I watched this in the past, whenever we did the last recording, has all been stuff I've seen before. Nothing new.
All right, let's do a pared down podcast.
All right. I rewatched like the Hunger Games. You ever see those Hunger Games movies?
I've seen everything but the very last one, I think.
Yeah, I like them.
So
They're good,
obviously,
like kind of action movies.
I remember seeing. I have not watched your Screen Dads. I'm sorry, but I know that you were talking about. I know that you said in this episode we're going to talk about WandaVision. Is it fun or is it boring? And I knew that you were the one that thought it was boring.
No, we both did.
Oh, you both did. Okay.
Yeah, we both did. Oh, yeah. At the time we did that episode, we were through 3 episodes, and the formula sucked. The formula sucked. It was the 20 minutes of sitcom that adds nothing to the plot, and then the 1 minute reveal, which is all plot, was getting tiresome. Episode 4 came, did not add anything to the sitcom plots, but just let you know what the other stuff was.
Well, I mean,
And
it let us know what's really going on. I mean, this we're
but
not
we kind
watching.
of already the audience was kind of already ahead of that. We knew that it was a fictitious world created by Wanda and manipulated by Wanda, and that there was an outside world. And we even saw the outside world at the end of the first episode, but there was nothing that kind of nudged things along. You haven't seen episode 5, but episode 5 is exactly what I wanted episode 2 to be. And I don't know if this is considered a spoiler, but it's intercutting between the outside world and WandaVision.
Sure.
And it's
Well,
like,
I'll tell you this.
that should have started episode 2. That was my thing.
I have never cared about Wanda or Vision.
Me too.
I've never, I never read the comics. I did watch the Avengers movies several times, and whenever it came to Wanda and Vision, I was like, oh my God, can we get to the cool comic book stuff? And I really enjoy WandaVision. I've appreciated the slow burn that you hate. I think it's, I like a little bit more. And yeah, I mean, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. And
Yeah, I really enjoyed episode 5.
okay.
And
Encouraging.
anybody who hasn't seen it yet, who's watching this,
Well, Danny says it's oh shit.
avoid spoilers for sure. Avoid Twitter until you see it. It's my favorite episode, and I feel like this is where I wanted episode 2 to be. This
Do
is
we
what
know
I
how many
wanted.
there are? Are there 10?
I have no idea. I think there's like 8 or 9, maybe 10. I think we're definitely past the halfway point. So I think it's 8 or 10, but we'll see.
Emmy nominations came. I'm sorry. Hold on a second.
Did something just fly across your room?
No.
Ooh, Kevin just went into the void.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. So, for those of you listening to this podcast, this episode is being streamed live on Kevin's Twitch. And after the fact, you should be able to find this video version of this episode on youtube.com/casinoscope.
Oh, good time for a commercial. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't tell my roommate that I was recording, and he was cleaning. He was vacuuming. I thought I'd do it later. Emmy nominations came out, and Mandalorian was nominated for what? Best drama?
I guess I have no idea. I haven't seen any of the Emmy stuff. That's cool. I mean, I like Star Wars. Good for
I don't know
them.
if it's let's was it the Emmys or the
Golden Globes.
it was let's see here.
Golden Globes?
No, it was the Emmys. So let me
You don't think that it should be nominated for drama?
I don't think it should be nominated for drama, best drama. I think there's probably better dramas out there.
Right. Did Ted Lasso get nominated for comedy?
Yes.
Good. I
Oh,
love Ted Lasso.
dude, since we last had our podcast, I watched all of Ted Lasso. I watched all of Schitt Creek.
How'd those go for you?
They're both great. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I love Ted Lasso. I am glad it's getting recognized. And they're currently working on season 2, so I'm excited for that as well.
Maybe it was the Golden Globes. Okay.
Jason Sudeikis, I love that show.
Okay, so best TV series was The Crown, Lovecraft Country, The Mandalorian, Ozark, and Ratched. A couple of these I haven't seen, but I am hearing the Sesame Street "One of These Things Doesn't Belong" song, and it is The Mandalorian. I don't listen. I really enjoy it. I like watching Baby Yoda. I like seeing Boba Fett again. It wasn't one of the best 5 dramas of the year.
It's not like it's good.
Where is Better Call Saul? Holy shit!
Yeah.
Are they saying that this is better than Better Call Saul because with Better Call Saul?
Oh man, I got to keep up. I've only watched 2 seasons of Better Call Saul. I love that show too.
Because Bob Odenkirk is nominated for Best Actor for Better Call Saul. Okay, I've gone from this is quizzical to this is fucking bullshit for Mandalorian to be nominated and Better Call Saul.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
right.
I haven't seen The Crown. I'm sure it's good. I have meant to see Lovecraft Country. Did you watch that at all?
No.
I hear that's really good. Ozark is great.
We just started Barry. I think we're like 3 episodes into Barry. So it's hard to kind of prioritize what you want to watch that you missed out on. And then, but Barry was the one we're like, okay, let's watch that next. Because it's tough just watching drama after drama after drama. It's like, I don't need to be kicked down that much.
I forget. Have we talked about Ozark? Have you seen Ozark?
No, I haven't.
It's really good. But again, that's another pretty drama show.
Right. I don't want to I don't need to be on edge.
Right.
All the time.
The last TV series drama was Ratched. I'm going to skip through some of these here. Best TV nobody can. None of that. None of that. Annie Murphy, the sister on Schitt's Creek, was nominated for Best Supporting Actress. Limited series, though. In a series, limited series. Okay. As did Daniel Levy, Best Supporting Actor. Okay, and then there's film stuff. Anything that we really... Mank is really good. I don't know. It's another kind of drama, but it's really good. That's on Netflix. Trial of the Chicago 7 I really enjoyed.
What am I watching? I'm watching Mask. I've been watching Mask. Mobile Armor Strike Command, the 80s cartoon.
All right.
That's a before bed show.
Sure.
Like I'll watch a couple episodes of that. It's been very entertaining.
You like Scores? Did you see the list of scores?
I do know that Daniel Pemberton was nominated for one, which is good. And I know Ludwig Göransson was nominated for Mandalorian. Oh, James Newton Howard, I know, was nominated for something. For the World News or whatever it is.
News of the World?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm just going through these lists now and I'm kind of overlooking at this list. So let's talk about Barry. What do you think about Barry?
I'm only 3 episodes in. It's great.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. The best is seeing Bill Hader take out 3 dudes in a car with a gun just in the middle of the street like it was nothing.
Right.
Because you're so used to Bill Hader being Bill Hader that you don't think of him as a badass and like a stone like a cold-blooded murderer, but he just pop 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 knocks off 3 dudes and then just walks away. And I'm like, okay, cool. All right, I like this. It's almost like, did you see that trailer for Mr. Nobody where
No.
it's Bob Odenkirk
Oh yeah.
essentially being John Wick, and it's like I like that sort of juxtaposition of this comedic actor that you've known forever as one thing being an action badass, and I really, that's what I dig about Barry.
You know,
And
I go ahead.
I like how he's so confident and is so easy to kill, but he's so anxious and nervous about acting.
Yeah.
And that kind of makes me laugh. He's such a fish out of water when it comes to like the sort of acting class, but he really wants to learn it. So,
Back to Bob Odenkirk a little bit. I remember watching Mr. Show shortly after it aired. I wasn't watching it live, but when I got the DVDs, and I remember, yeah, I felt that it was easier for David Cross because David Cross kind of looked a little goofier, where Bob Odenkirk would kind of be presented as the straight man. So
right.
for me, I always appreciated Bob Odenkirk getting over in comedy, but then just being like so great in Better Call Saul, like finding both sides of the coin and doing really really well in both. So
Well, what's funny is when he showed up in Breaking Bad, I'm like, this seems out of the show's character. Like, this feels weird. It doesn't feel right. Bob Odenkirk is such a funny guy, and to be put in this like kind of serious, like really heavy drama, I always thought he was out of place. But like after a couple episodes, he just plays it just perfectly. The drama and the comedy is just so perfectly done that you like kind of like fall in love with him. Like it's weird how he was able to insert himself into that show after what, maybe like 2 seasons. Um, and yeah, ever since then, like I love Better Call Saul, and I'm looking forward to Nowhere Man. But yeah, it's funny how he just starts to show up in things. Stevie
I'm
loves that Greta Gerwig's Little Women,
okay.
and he pops up in that movie. And it's like, oh,
Oh,
it
that's
makes me
right. Yeah.
happy now. He just shows up in things, and I'm like, okay, cool. I like Bob.
Um, One of the I've only been to the UCB Upright Citizens Brigade Theater on Sunset, which is, or not on Sunset, the original one, which is the only one now.
Franklin.
The one Sunset one had to close. But I think the first time I went, it's when Bob Odenkirk had a thing where he was interviewing Zach Galifianakis, and it was so full that they were putting chairs on the stage, and
Right.
I ended up sitting on a chair on the stage, like 5 feet from both these guys as they're doing their thing. And Bob was taking pictures with people afterwards, and there were people. It was just after, like, he had done a couple of appearances on Better Call Saul, and people were like, "You were great in that show. They should bring you back." And he was like, "Yeah, I heard they're going to bring me back." And it's really grown from then. That's great.
Right.
Schitt's Creek, I tell you, Schitt's Creek. It had to have been said because I have not followed any talk about Schitt's Creek over the past few
Mhm.
years because I just never got into it for whatever reason. And it has to have been said over time and time that it's somewhat of a spiritual successor to Arrested Development. Yes.
Yeah, similar kind of themes.
I mean, it's generally a
Yeah.
terrible family who are, you know, I wouldn't say stuck together in Arrested Development, but I
Yeah.
think one thing that gives Schitt's Creek a bit of a leg up is there are some genuinely sweet, tender, maybe even for your old buddy Kev, a little tearjerker moments, and
Hmm.
that I was not expected to see some of these. I mean, when you got
Right.
Alexis and Ted and stuff like that, and I was like, man, this is really really good.
Yeah,
Um,
really good character development, and really likable characters too. Like they start off really awful, and the first half of the first season is like, oh man, these people are just complete assholes. But they
Dan
start
Levy,
getting the
he's hosting Saturday Night Live tomorrow night. Dan Levy.
that's right. Should be
Um,
fun.
But you're right. Yeah, they start off as assholes, and then
Yeah, I feel like Arrested Development, they don't ever change who they are. They're a little bit more stubborn, but I feel like the difference between Arrested Development and Schitt's Creek is that Development came at a time where shows weren't that crazy into being serialized, and so episodes could be self-contained, so you don't really have a lot to play with as far as character development and story arcs. So Michael will always be Michael and Job will always be Job. But with Schitt's Creek, where it's, in this sort of streaming culture and binging culture, they're able to have better character arcs. And they're able to say, okay, this is where they start and this is where we're going to want them to end. And that they pretty much pulled that off. Like, like every single one of those characters becomes endearing by the end.
yeah.
Um,
Did you see on
really well
Netflix
done.
there is a little special like where they follow people around in the last season? Did you watch that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little too much focus on the clothes for me for one section, but overall it was really sweet. It was really nice.
Right. It's not, it's, yeah. I mean, the clothes are a big deal, I guess, on that show, but yeah, it's not my thing. It's fun to see the crazy outfits, but I'm not going to like analyze them.
Um, and yes, Ted Lasso, which um, my girlfriend and I, we started to watch it. We watched like 3 episodes one night, and then she texted me the next day and she was like, I want to watch more Ted Lasso.
Right.
So I came over and we watched more Ted Lasso. Yeah, just wonderful. Just a wonderful show. A buddy of mine back home watched it. He's my friends, especially my friends back home, are quick to judge. And yeah, he was in on it real quick. He's like, it's not about sports. It's about the characters. And
I
yeah,
know, and especially since it's soccer, I'm like I even know even less.
right.
Um, but yeah, it's not about that. That show is so great. It's that's one of those shows where it's like the opposite of Breaking Bad, where you're like, okay, I can relax and enjoy it. I don't have to be tense at any time. It's lighthearted. The characters are really funny. Ted Lasso's like ridiculously like the most nice guy ever. Like even when like the worst thing happens and someone comes up to him and says they did something awful to him, he's just like, okay, it's all right. Thanks for letting me know. Like
Yeah.
it's not like it's the it's like the least cynical show ever made. And it's crazy because it seems like every show nowadays has to have some sort of edge or bite or something, but it's nice to just have a show that's, hey, it's fun, it's all good. So it's a breath of fresh air, I would say. I love it.
I
And
would watch.
anyone who hasn't seen it, absolutely see it. You probably get a free trial of Apple Plus. We watched it in like a day. We watched like one half uh Sunday night, and then Monday night we knocked the rest out. So you'll be able to watch it within your 7-day free trial if you have a free trial available. Can't recommend it enough. And they're shooting season 2 now, so hopefully that comes out soon.
So I would watch Schitt's Creek, and my major binging happens when I'm playing Xbox because, like I say, I'm here at this house in this bedroom. I'm either at my place or Rosanna's place um, for most of the time. And when I'm here, I'm playing video games, and on my iPad or on the computer to the right, I'm watching something. So I
Yeah.
plowed through all of The Office, all of Parks and Rec. Both of those were my second times just walking straight through.
Yeah.
And now Schitt's Creek. Oh, and a big bunch of Supernatural. So what's next? What's my big side binge while I'm shooting zombies? And before we actually get to that, speaking of my friends being very judgmental, um, there was a new map that came out for Cold War, Black Ops Cold War, and we played it, and they don't like it. So I think we're not going to play. We waited so long for a new zombie map, and they got
Right.
so mad. We got like 20 rounds in or something, and I think they're done with it. And I would play it more, and maybe I will alone. But we need more zombie maps.
Okay.
But what am I going to watch next while I'm alone on my bed playing Xbox?
Watch Mobile Armor Strike Command.
I don't think I want to do that.
um, I've been enjoying it. I don't know, man. I'm still watching Voyager. I'm in the middle of season 2. Have you, me and Stevie have been watching Psych. Have you watched Psych before?
I've not.
You might like it.
Okay.
I think you might enjoy it.
I remember it was on
Um,
like it's on USA or it was on USA,
yeah,
and
it's
it was
currently
like
on Prime and
okay.
Peacock, but I think you might enjoy it. A lot of they have a lot of references to the 80s in it. Um, I give it a shot. It's a procedural. We watched an episode where there was a Bigfoot, or they thought
Okay.
there was a Bigfoot, and in the opening credits it said guest starring WWE superstar The Big Show in quotes. There was also an episode, and this is just one out of like 100 episodes. There was also another episode where it said guest starring WWE superstar The Miz.
Well, it's funny because there was a bit of a tie-on because both Raw and that were on
Right,
USA.
right.
It's funny you mentioned that because when you were talking about as soon as you said Bigfoot, generally I go right back to there's an episode of The Greatest American Hero.
Mhm.
Wait, he didn't play Bigfoot in that. Andre the Giant played Bigfoot on The Fall Guy. I think he played the yes. He was Bigfoot on The Fall Guy, and he was in The Greatest American Hero. What did he play in The Greatest? But it was Andre the Giant. So it's funny that I'm sure Big Show
Yeah,
played Bigfoot, and when
right.
Big
He,
Show
but it was really funny that they were credited as WWE superstar. Just didn't say Mike, Ms. whatever. Um, John Cena has appeared in episodes. He really funny, but they're really into bringing in stars from the 80s into the show to play characters. So I was going to say Daniel LaRusso, but Ralph Macchio was on an episode. Molly Ringwald was on an episode I just watched. Brad Dourif was on an episode I just watched. Like the guest stars are always fun. Like all those people you from the 80s, they're like, oh man, I missed that guy. Um, Give it a shot. You might like it. It's an interesting concept. It's a police procedural, and he and James Roday plays Sean, who is he is really perceptive and he has a photographic memory and he could look at things differently just based on his like he's got this cool like brain. He's also an idiot, but he pretends he is a psychic. His cover is that he's a psychic and he works for the police.
but wait, he's not but he does have something.
He's not a psychic. No. He just has this perception. Like it's most likely if you were to look at a footprint on the ground, everyone would see a footprint. But he's like, oh, I know what kind of tread that is, and he might notice a fiber can only be from one thing, or like I just give it a shot. I mean, it's all explained in the first episode, but
Okay.
he's definitely not a psychic. And when he pretends he's a psychic, he looks like an idiot. He puts his hands against his head and he acts like it hurts. And then no, he just saw a piece of paper in the corner that was flipped up. But it's fun. We're on like season 6 right now, I think.
All right. Well, sold.
Uh,
That'll be my next
yeah,
thing.
give it a shot. It's fun. It's mindless. Both me and Stevie watch it while playing on our phones, or it doesn't have to be like you don't have to be focused on it. So I think it might be perfect for while you're shooting zombies to watch Psych.
Good.
And if you don't like it, you don't watch it. Uh, I
Uh-oh.
think that's a good.
You're kind of cutting out. Kind of stuck.
Okay. Is it me?
You know what's funny is I think we're fine. think we're fine on Twitch, but I think the Zoom has you paused.
Can you see me waving my hand? Can you hear me?
Okay, well now, okay, all right. I think we're better now.
Okay. All right. Speaking of WWE superstars,
Oh yeah, that's right.
now I'm glad you said at the beginning you wanted to talk a little bit about the Rumble because I only saw a little bit of the Rumble.
Well, you saw the
That's
women's Royal Rumble match and the men's Royal Rumble match, right?
correct. And I caught the last half of the Roman Reigns Kevin Owens match.
Okay.
So I had started way late. I'm like, okay, I'm late. I just want to watch the Rumble, both the women's and the men's Rumble. And being on the WWE network while live event is going on and trying to pick a specific point to be in that live stream is next to impossible. And so I started watching from the beginning and I'm like, I don't need to see this Goldberg match. So I went to skip ahead and it didn't skip ahead. And so my only option was to watch live, which was halfway through the Rumble, or start the Goldberg match all over again. So I'm like, crap. So I finagled it somehow to where I started the women's match. I'm like, perfect. So I watched the women's match. And then the same thing happened when I tried to get ahead to the men's match. It got me to halfway through
Oh no.
the Kevin Owens match.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna stay here because I like these guys. Well, I like one of these guys. That's the right thing to say, right?
I like Roman Reigns now. I think he's a great
Okay.
bad guy.
So the two important matches I watched, I think. I don't know what else I missed, but I feel
I don't
like
remember. It's the Rumbles are all about the Rumbles, and I guess the title matches for sure. I mean, Goldberg lost, which fine, of course. Yeah, I mean, Bianca Belair, I felt that she would be the winner. She was my official guess, and she did. I was kind of hoping that Daniel Bryan would win the men's, and he didn't. But Edge went from start to finish, and
right.
your text to me was very funny because Randy Orton
Right.
got quote unquote injured very early on, and then disappeared for the vast majority of the match. And he came back at the very end, and you were like, "Oh, I was mad because he was going to come back and win." And he didn't win, so I was happy. I thought that was
Right.
great.
I was like, okay, I don't know. Like, I don't know how Kevin thought this went, but I was pretty sure that you were excited. Like you went through the same emotions. Like I'm sure when he came out and did the RKO or whatever, you were just like, God damn it. Because what's funny is, and they do this so well. This is a really big compliment to WWE, is the package that they tape and show before the Rumble, where it gives you all the stats. It always shows the shortest time where that guy runs in and then gets knocked down. He's like, what? How could I have only been for 1 second? Like that whole package is perfect because they tell you that that um, Randy Orton is tied for the most amount of times winning, like with Steve Austin or something. Like they both are tied for the amount of wins. I think they've each won it like 3 times or something.
I
Some
think I think Austin has won 3 times. I think Randy has won twice. But I
Oh,
think
I
they
thought they
were
said I
I think
said
they were
they said
building
3.
if he won, he would tie. I think they were saying. I can't remember.
Right. And that's what I like is that I am a casual viewer. I only catch like pay-per-views every other month or so. So I was like, oh, so as when Randy Orton showed up, I knew it was a big deal. And I'm like, fuck, he's gonna get tied with Steve Austin or whatever. And I'm like, I know that's not a good thing because Steve Austin's so beloved that I'm like, fuck Randy Orton. So when he came out, I was like, what the fuck? They're not gonna do this to me. Like I have any sort of investment, but I kind of do. Um, and then when Edge did his thing and took him out, I was like, that's great.
I'll tell you.
That's like at the end of it's like at the end of Alien when she's in the escape pod and she's getting ready to sleep, but the alien's in there. It's
Yeah.
that little bit of extra like tension at the very end where you're like, oh shit, no. And it was perfect. I liked it. And I don't know anything about Christian, but I could tell that he was a big deal when
Edge
he
and
came
Christian
back.
were a tag team for a long time. They were tag champs a number of times. They are best friends, and it was really nice to see them together.
Yeah, I could tell because I've every time I watch a pay per view, there's some like Edge and Christian show, like either a talk show or a comedy show. So I knew that they were a tag team, and so I know the crowd sounds are pumped in, but I could tell it was a big deal. So that
Yeah,
was
the
cool.
crowd sounds being pumped in is so it's weird when they're chanting like "This is awesome."
It's manipulative. It's what Vince wants the crowd to be saying at that time.
Yeah,
And so I don't take it at face value. Like, yeah, this is awesome. Sure, Vince. Like you say this is awesome. It's putting the voice into the fans, which no fan wants.
but conversely, like with Orton's been in a feud with the Fiend, and maybe I read this
Okay.
up before, but they're both doing really terrible things, and I'm like, who am I supposed to be cheering for? Well, Vince tells me who I'm going to be cheering for when the Fiend comes out and we hear applause and we hear Randy Orton get booed. I'm like, okay, so the Fiend is the good guy, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird. It's like Truman Show, you know? Like it's
Right?
like
Yes, yes.
it's yeah, there's I feel like I think the event was fun, but you need the live crowd. It's like they tell the truth.
But I
The
think,
crowd's telling the truth.
like, I think didn't the NFL isn't the NFL doing that too? When there's not when there before there was a crowd, any crowd. I think the NFL and the NBA were piping in crowd cheers and stuff too. I
but
don't know.
but what's great about what's easy about that is if it's the home team doing something, they cheer. If it's the away team doing something, they boo. It's cut and dry. But the problem is who Vince thinks are good guys and bad guys are not who the WWE universe is rooting for. You know, like he has Roman Reigns coming out and everybody cheering. Do you think that's how it would really be?
Well, okay,
Like,
if he did that, yeah.
right.
But they are they did booze. He is the bad guy.
Okay.
He is getting booed right now, and
So if John Cena were to come out,
that's
they're just going to play his music. And then I would love to hear a crowd chant that says, John Cena is rad. John Cena is rad.
funny. I don't know. That's a good question.
But yeah, I can't wait till we can get like live crowds again
So
just to get out
WrestleMania
of the
this year
house.
is going to be another 2-day event, and it's going to be in Florida. So there will be fans there. I don't know how many fans, but there will be fans. And then next year, I forget where it is, maybe Texas.
I
But
thought
then
it
the
was
year
Los
after that,
Angeles,
what's that? Well, the year after that, I think, is in 2 years. I think we get it in LA.
2022.
I think 23.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
let's
a way
go.
away.
If we can go, we got to go.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
So speaking
Uh,
of the WWE Network, just before WrestleMania, the WWE Network is moving to Peacock, and I'm not sure. Well, the good thing is, WWE Network is $10. It's going to be incorporated into that, and I think if you have the free version of Peacock and you spend $5, you get the network. But if you spend
oh,
the
cool.
$10, you get
The Peacock extras, like the
yeah,
extra offices and no commercials.
yeah. So
That's
I'm just
cool.
like getting Peacock for free.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, that'll be good.
You can finish up The Office.
I finished The Office.
And then what's the I'm
Oh,
assuming Raw, but Raw and those are still on USA, right?
right. But speaking of Peacock, there is a movie, and I don't know what made me start thinking about it. It's about Tower Records. It's called All Things Must Pass.
Oh yeah, that's Colin Hanks's film.
It is, and I just watched it last night, and I really enjoyed it.
I'll have to watch it. It's on Peacock.
Yep, it's on Peacock. You can watch it for free. You watch like 2 minutes of ads beforehand, but then it's really neat. It's worth watching for sure.
Cool.
I when I was living in Orange County the first time, um, there was one on Beach. There was a Sunset Tower Records on Beach. Did you go to that? You mentioned that one. I think
Yeah, yeah.
you saw solicitation of prostitution, as I
How
recall.
did you remember that?
Because it's
Because that's
so
the
weird.
first.
Because I went there all the time, and I was like, I never saw that. That's weird.
Yeah, it was in the middle of the day. I was on my way to Disneyland because I lived in Downey and I worked at Disneyland, and it was like smack dab in the middle. So on Thursdays, on paydays, I'd go deposit my check and then stop at Tower to see if any good scores came in. And I got something, and I was like taking it out of the wrapper in my car to put it in my CD player, and I looked over and I literally saw a man in a business suit in like a Mercedes handing a trashy lady some money, and then her getting out of the car and leaving. I'm like, cool, awesome.
There was
Yeah, Beach
also
Boulevard.
there's also a tower on Sunset in Hollywood, and I've been
Right.
there once. I bought the Metallica Saint Anger there in 2003. The only time I was there. And then, since it closed, Guns N' Roses, like when they had their tour, when they had their Not in This Lifetime tour, when they got back together, they like redid it. They revamped it, and I always meant to look and see what's there now.
I
Just
just recently rewatched The Nice Guys, and there's a shot of that tower on Sunset in the movie.
The Nice Guys.
Yeah, the Ryan Gosling, Russell Crowe, Shane Black movie.
It's so funny you say that because last night uh, I was looking for a movie and I double clicked
Okay.
on it in my on my iTunes, and it was what came up was The Nice Guys, and this isn't the right movie. What's going on here? And I looked and I looked and I looked, and it reminded me that I wanted to see that again. I think I want to show it to Rosanna because it's a great movie. But it's 12 hours ago. I'm watching the fucking Nice Guys by accident, and you mentioned it just now. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was in the mood. I don't know. Me and my
Movie.
friend Ryan were talking about Shane Black. So
Because
it's
I
like
had
I want
just
to watch The
shown
Nice
her
Guys.
during Christmas. We watched what's his Christmas movie with?
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yes, we watched that. It was great.
She liked it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and she'll like The Nice Guys then. It's essentially like the same. It's
Dynamic.
like exactly the same tone and the same character. Like it's great.
Yeah.
I like The Nice Guys. Holds up. Good movie.
I don't think I have anything else on the top of my head.
I can't think of anything either. I feel like our last show wasn't that long ago, right?
I think it was like a month ago.
Oh, really? Hmm. Yeah. Still watching Star Trek. And then, yeah, there's a lot of Star Trek talk that week or that episode.
Sure. Well, there's
People
a lot
giving
of
me
Star
shit.
Trek.
Dude, there's so much Star Trek.
Yeah.
I wish there was an easier way to watch, like to consume it. I'm not a fan of this 1.5 times speed or whatever, but I need it to come quicker. I need it to.
I've never done that. Like not on a YouTube video, not on a TV show. It seems weird to me.
Like my podcast will accidentally click into that mode sometimes on my watch when I'm like working and stuff, and then I'm like, oh, I can't deal with the 1.5 times speed. But I don't know.
So right now, Los Angeles is in tier 1, I think, and they said the theme parks can open in theme 4, and I guess a group is trying to figure out a way to open up in tier 3. So that would help. That would put me to work. But I don't know how it is in Orange County.
Nothing. I know nothing.
Yeah.
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 It's fine though. It's fine. Today I finally got through to EDD. So
Oh,
my
excellent.
shit's back on track. I will be able to do my certify for my weeks in 2 days and receive all my back pay on a week from today.
How did you
So
finally get through? Did that phone number I gave you do anything?
yeah, I've been using that phone number since you gave it to me every day, and today was the first time I got through. Like
Wow.
they it gets to the point where they just say flat out, we cannot take your call, and they hang up on you.
Right.
It's like, fuck. Okay. So that's good.
That's great.
That's good. But yeah, I mean, other than that, everything's good. I mean, I'm looking around to see if there's anything new. It's all the same shit on my desk. Nothing, no fun new toys.
All right. Well, I'll pitch it one more time. I'm excited to do this show in a week, and we're gonna do it on Facebook Live. I think I figured out how to do it on Facebook Live. Um, it should be fun. It's six sketches that for whatever reason we didn't do. There's a number of different reasons, but I hope some of my fellow nerds out there who like Doctor Who will give it a shot.
Hey, this will be the first time that I'm able to watch one of your shows.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, I've seen the taped versions, but yeah. So, and then this is the first year that you're not going to be busy for my birthday, and guess what? I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. When is
Which
that
kind of
again? That's
sucks.
what, like the 19th?
The 18th.
The 18th. I don't know why. Okay, the 18th.
Don't make me tell you your birthday. Is
It's
it
April 20th.
April 26th? Oh, but
That's all right.
I knew it was April. Okay.
All right. Well, we'll keep doing our thing, and
Yeah.
we'll see what happens in the future. I'll start watching Psych while I shoot zombies by myself. We play Rocket League. We like Rocket League. It's a little race car game, little
Yeah.
like soccer with cars. It's great.
Yeah. And once again, just as far as Psych goes, it's perfect for watching on the side.
Sure.
Like, don't be like sitting there on the couch. I'm gonna give this a shot and just sit there and stare at it because it's a police procedural on USA. It's a comedy, so it's
And I
a
don't
fun
know.
show.
I would imagine that most people out there have, but if you haven't subscribed to Ralph's Casino Skunk YouTube channel, you should, because he's got a lot of stuff on there. Hello, Shane. Shane in the UK. Thank you for joining us. We're almost done, but thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, I'm gonna bug Kevin to send me this recording so I could put it up on that page too.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Even though I prefer people to come over to the Twitch to get people on the Twitch, but both links will be available everywhere.
Yes, exactly. I think that's it, buddy.
All right, let's stop doing a podcast.
All right, we'll stop doing the podcast.
All right. Oh,
so
cool.
you have like 5 minutes? Can you help me do a test on Facebook?
Yeah, sure. Hold on. I'm gonna stop my recording.
Okay.
Cool, that worked. I am going to open my window.
Sure.
Because it's warm. So you'll probably get some sound from that.
Okay, I'm gonna do. Oh man, we didn't mention Christopher Plummer passed away. I don't know if you saw that.
That's okay. People know.
We just watched Star Trek 6.
I thought you were going to say you just watched Star Crash.
Is he in that?
Yeah, I posted that picture. That's a picture I posted on Twitter. He's the Emperor of the Universe.
All right, I'm gonna change some things in OBS. My computer is already like, OBS, are you sure, Kev? Facebook Live. Oh, I need to tell them yes.
We just had Miguel's Jr. for lunch, and it was good.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a Mexican restaurant, like a chain, but not like, there's like a couple. Oh, I just got another subscriber.
I wonder if it was Shane.
From Adam.
Adam. Does it say his last name? Is it Adam Ferry?
McLaren.
Oh, right.
McLaren.
Okay, so
yeah, I didn't use this channel for like decades.
I have it set up to go to Facebook Live. because that's the other thing I'm freaking out about. I want to get it so right. So just
Right.
my video, doing a test.
Just keep doing tests.
Okay, so it's actually on the All Right podcast page. So the main thing I'm concerned about is getting audio from you.
Okay.
Oh, excellent.
You
Excellent.
did it?
We did it. All right. Thanks, man.
Sure.
Well, I wonder, you know what? I wonder if, can we try one more thing?
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Christopher Plummer?
What?
Christopher Plummer?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do a different audio input. Is that okay? Say Christopher Plummer again.
Christopher Plummer?
Okay, that might not be.
I hate musicals, but I like the Sound of Music. I just grew up with that movie. But my favorite Christopher Plummer movie is Star Crash. And he was just in Knives Out.
Oh, Knives Out. I just
Knives
saw
Out's
that
great.
for the first time a month ago. Yeah, it was fantastic. Okay, I'm going to stop that test. Thank you very much. I'll get you this video very soon.
Cool. Sounds good.
Appreciate it, man.
All right. Yeah, no problem.
All right.
All right.